Looking at the Kentucky-specific scores and deciding how to promote growth in certain areas of development, I want to remind you of your resource in the Kentucky Early Childhood Standards. These standards tell us what children should know and be able to do from birth through 4 years old. So they're your foundation before you start kindergarten at age 5. These are also linked to later learning skills in the Kentucky Core Academic Standards that are used in K through 12. Your resource list contains the link for the Early Childhood Standards if you want to explore further. With the modules focused on physical well-being and social-emotional development, I wanted to share the standards that apply to those areas. This slide shows the standards for physical well-being that includes motor development, physical development, and health, education, mental wellness. These are the standards for social-emotional development. These include standards for social-emotional development, social studies, and health, education, mental wellness. Notice that the standard and benchmarks for health, education, and mental wellness are included in both sets of standards. I want to explore this standard further and consider the link between health and physical well-being and social and emotional development. This standard for health, education, mental wellness contains 3 benchmarks. These benchmarks further define the standard by pointing to specific skills and behaviors exhibited by children. The benchmark for this standard include demonstrates independent behavior, shows social cooperation, and applies social problem-solving skills. I want you to remember this association between the standards and benchmarks as we look later at physical well-being and social-emotional development. Consider the standards and benchmarks for health, education, and mental wellness. I think that you will see a strong relationship between these 2 areas of development. The Governor's Office of Early Childhood Development provides both physical and digital copies of parent guides that may help you in supporting the Kentucky Early Childhood Learning Standards. The guides for birth to 3 and for 3 and 4-year-olds are available in both English and Spanish. Each section focuses on a standard, gives you an idea of what the standard means, and then suggests activities for parents to engage with their children. Another helpful resource is the GPS to a child's success. This resource contains definitions of the standard and things to look for to see how children are progressing in their development. A section that may be of particular interest to you is the extra supports. These resources can provide practical suggestions that may be implemented in your story times and in the children's area of the library. As these modules are intended to build on the work that you are already doing with young children, an important aspect of them is giving you some ideas of how to use these concepts to support school readiness. Some of you attended Saroj Golding's workshops when she presented in the state. In these, she shared information about early literacy asides. An aside is an intentional tip that articulates to adults the connection between what is done in story times and the skills used in reading. An aside can give parents and caregivers information to support the growth and development of their young child. These are examples, explanations, or just knowledge to empower caregivers. An aside may help caregivers think of activities to do with their children to extend the story time beyond the library, as well as to help them understand how these activities are supporting learning. As you go through this module, think about how you can incorporate your learning and share information with parents to help them understand school readiness and get simple ideas and things that they can do with their children.